I'm sorry I was hyping up the aggressive nightmare mode this entire time, but I unfortunately just do not have the time to do it for now. That video of me beating aggressive nightmare mode will be made within the next couple of months or so. Well, this is the video that you have all been waiting for. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 Aggressive Nightmare Mode. I'm gonna quickly describe the mechanics for this game, but if y'all have already watched the last video or already know how the mechanics for this game go, then just go to this timestamp that's on screen right now. This entire game is based in Fazbear's Fright, the new attraction after FNAF 1 and 2. Apparently the last place burned down, and now we have the vomit green office that we're gonna be playing in once again for this video. This game is set entirely over one animatronic, Springtrap. You would expect this game to be a lot easier than a game like FNAF 2, but luck is the biggest part of the game. Springtrap moves around the hallways and through the vents that you seal one at a time, which is actually one of the new features that is added to this game besides the audio lures. The RNG behind Springtrap is very random, causing a lot of random deaths like this. To happen quite frequently, especially during aggressive nightmare mode. One of the big things behind Springtrap's movement is the system failures. Ventilation is the big one to talk about though, especially because it makes him more aggressive than he already is, and you can die a lot easier due to your character fainting. The other two systems that can go out during this night are audio and camera systems, which makes it where your audio lures that lead Springtrap around the hallways to prevent him from killing you don't work, and where you cannot see anything on the cameras, including the phantom animatronics. Your audio system fails after using the lures too many times, and your cameras fail after being on the cameras for too long. The other 6 phantom animatronics are one of the key components to Springtrap's triumph over the security guard, because some are able to disturb your systems. So let's say Phantom Balloon Boy jump scares you, he causes your ventilation to go out, making you restart the system. Phantom Freddy jump scares you if you're in the office too long, and Phantom Foxy jump scares you if you look to your left without realizing he's there, causing him to jump scare you as well. The other 4 are based on the cameras. If you look at specific cameras without flipping off of them, the phantom animatronics will jump scare you right after. And the Phantom Puppet temporarily blocks off your vision for a while. Phantom BB is able to spawn on 4 cameras, which makes him a bit more annoying. No strategy in this game will ever be foolproof, but we can make sure the success rate is a lot higher than when I was playing in regular nightmare mode. To start off, here are all of the cameras in the game. The top half, I'm not going to keep Springtrap in. Typically, the goal is to keep him as far away from you as possible, as a lot of people do, but what you may not notice is that most of the vents are up there, and there are 2 that lead directly to your office. When keeping Springtrap in the bottom half of the map, you're able to track him a lot more effectively without worrying about him getting into the vents, or booking it straight to your office super quickly. There's also one vent that leads to your death in the bottom half, and that can be easily sealed. When we lure Springtrap to the lower half of the map, there's an audio cue that goes off indicating that he's there. And that audio cue gets louder the closer he gets to your office. Also, you can hear his footsteps whenever he moves, and if you're on the camera, whenever Springtrap moves from or to the camera you're on, loud alarming static will go off to show that he moved. On occasion, Springtrap may go to camera 3 or 4, but keep him in 2. If he's in camera 3, he could just pop up right at your window, making it easier for him to get in his kill stage. Camera 4 isn't a good idea either, because Phantom Mangle can attack as well. So basically, the steps for the night are going to go like this. Step 1. Open the vent cameras and immediately close the vent next to camera 2 to make sure he doesn't get to your office too easily. Springtrap isn't even able to get into the vents until 1 AM anyways, but it's so you don't have to later. Step 2. If you see Phantom Freddy, he always plays the danger sound like Springtrap, so make sure to find Springtrap on the cameras as soon as possible. Step 3. If the anxiety sound stops and Phantom Freddy isn't there, just know that Springtrap went to the top half of the map, which means either camera 6 or 8. This leaves you with 2 options. Either A, seal off the vent closest to him, or B, lure him back to the bottom half of the map. Step 4. Once the big ass gets to cam 2, he'll try to go to your window, so you can just bring him back to cam 2 over and over again and reboot if you need to do so. Here's a scenario. If Springtrap goes across your glass to cam 1, that means he won't be able to be lured anywhere else for the rest of the game. So that means you have to stall him out by looking at him for as long as possible, at least at the end of the game until a ventilation error happens. Or you could try to keep him in cam 1 as much as possible by rebooting audio to keep him there. Step 5. Keeping the Phantom stalled is pretty easy when it comes to this game. All you have to do is keep the camera flipping throughout the night in order to keep 5 out of the 6 animatronics stalled. And the one that you aren't stalling is Phantom Foxy, and you just need to wait him out if he ever shows up to your office. The only way you could ever get a vent error is if you get jump scared by a phantom, and if a phantom jump scares you, they disappear for the rest of the night basically. Step 6. If Springtrap ever enters my office, I will implement the single frame strategy that I use during regular nightmare mode, which means I will try to flip the cameras up as fast as possible every 8 seconds or so in order to stall out Springtrap. Step 7. Beat the game. I'm going to be skipping through the boring parts of the night, but I will be letting you know my thought process throughout parts of the night. So far, I'm implementing step 1. I'm trying to lure Springtrap down to the lower half of the map while also camera stalling throughout the first step. I also took the time to close the vent next to my office to prevent my death later. Since I noticed Foxy here, I decided to keep stalling on the cameras to wait him out until I'm able to reboot my systems. But since Springtrap is in the lower half of the map, I don't need to worry that much until he's at camera 2 or at my window. Here, Springtrap decides to move back up to the top half of the map, so I just use an audio lure to bring him back down. He does this a couple times throughout the playthrough, so I'm not going to show every time he does. Now since it's 1 AM, Springtrap is able to go through the vents and finally shows up at my office, and that's when I use my last audio lure to bring him back to camera 2. He does this a lot throughout the night, so I'm not going to talk about this a lot either. After Springtrap explored for a bit, he decided to come back to my window, but after this he actually went back to the top half of the map, which caused me to lure him back down. I honestly got super lucky throughout the night, and sorry if this gameplay is a little bit boring because of that. Springtrap had the courtesy to just wander around the establishment for a while and gave me really good RNG throughout the rest of the night. So I'm going to let y'all watch the last 2 hours of gameplay without interruption just to see how it played out. I'll let y'all know if there's something that needs to be noticed or something that was really difficult throughout the night, but that's probably not going to happen anyways. Anyways, enjoy. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Finally, low-key, that didn't even take me as much tries as Nightmare Mode. But let's go. Finally, dude. That's like my second max mode so far. Let's go, baby. That actually wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. Sorry for taking so long, I guess. That was actually kind of lame, I'm not gonna lie. Whatever, dude. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. I apologize for taking so long to make this video, especially because it wasn't as difficult as I thought out to be. I thought my FNAF 2 video would be my last video before going to Florida, and by the time y'all see this, it'll probably be a week after I get back. But yeah, I'm finishing this video on the 17th. I also thought I'd say that I didn't actually play the entire game and open the code and gave myself the option to play aggressive nightmare mode. Mainly because I don't care for the good or bad playthrough. You can call that lame all you want, but be grateful this video is out. So should Hamble Down and BlazBlaz. Hit them up after y'all watch the rest of this video though. Speaking of grateful, thank you guys for 50k views on my channel. I've worked really hard on this channel and appreciate the support. The goal is to hit 100k views by the end of the year and hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year. I think this goal is pretty achievable. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like button down below and subscribing if you're new to my content. If you want to see games or challenges like this, let me know down in the comments as well. If you also haven't watched the last video that I did on FNAF 3, check that out by clicking the banner right here. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Have a good day.